Hello, I'm going to show you how to create your own Kahoot account as a teacher and also some of the basic features. So this is what you see when you're a student and you're going to log into Kahoot. But if you want to create a teacher account, you have to go to kahoot.com. If this is the page you end up at, maybe you do a search for Kahoot, all you have to do is click on the link at the bottom here. Or you can type it in to your web browser, kahoot.com, and that takes you to the home page for the teacher account. So here we're going to log in. And here's where we can create our Kahoot account. So if you already have an account, this is where you put in your username and password, but otherwise you can sign up with Google, Microsoft, Apple, or if you don't have an account, you can click sign up and you don't need to actually use any of these to get in. So when you click sign up, you could tell them you're a teacher, that you work for a school or other. And here's where you'll put your email address and you'll create a password. Okay, so here's where we can get started. We're going to take a look at the basic account, and then I'll point out some of the features that are different with the pro account. I actually have a pro account. So I clicked continue with the basic account. Okay. You could pick your own username, doesn't really matter. Your country, your school name. I'm gonna maybe do this later. Okay, so now that we have an account, we can start creating our Kahoots. You can go to the top right corner to create your first Kahoot. So I hit create, and you can see there are a couple templates that help you create your first Kahoot. You can look at those on your own time. We're just going to create our own for now. So when I clicked create, this gives me a slide, and here's where I would type in my question. What holiday comes after Rosh Hashanah? Okay, and I can change the time limit. 20 seconds seems a bit short. I can change it to 30, 60, 90. You could also adjust the point value. If you don't want there to be any points, so it's not competitive, you could put it to 0. You can make each question worth more points. The reason to have points is because students are rewarded if they get the answer correct and if they get it faster than the others. So if you have 5 kids who get it correct, but one was a lot faster than the rest, they might get the maximum number of points, and then the rest get fewer. A lot of us don't really like the competition between the students, and I don't either, but I'll admit that my students crave that. That's what motivates them. So I typically keep the points. So here, let's change the time limit to 30 seconds. Or even 60, why not? If everyone submits their answers in less than 60 seconds, then it automatically shows you the answer and you can move on to the next question. Okay, over here you see the answer options. With the free account, you could only do single select, which means there's only one right answer. If you have a pro account, you could do multi-select, so there can be multiple right answers. So what holiday comes after Rosh Hashanah? Yom Kippur. If that's the correct answer, we put a check mark here. Let's put Sukkot, Pesach, and Hanukkah. Okay, so there's our first question. If we have a picture that we want to add that relates to the topic, we can do that here. We can go to Upload Image, and then we get to grab something from our computer. A YouTube link, if there's a video clip that you want to show here that might help out. Or we could go to the image library. Now, admittedly, with the free account, there aren't a lot of great resources for people teaching Judaic studies. Here's some popular images. You can go through them if you want. With the free account, I would just find my own images, download them to my computer, and then upload them. But if you do have a paid account, you can find pictures for anything. Here's Passover. You notice from the little crown on the top right, that means it's a paid picture, a premium picture, and you need a paid account. But here are a bunch of beautiful Passover pictures. Okay. So I'm going to close this. We don't need a picture right now. And if that question is done, then we can add a question. I'm going to click Add Question. And here are the choices. You can do a quiz that has the 4 choices like we just did, or true, false. So let's do a true, false now. Here are the question types that you can add if you have a paid account. So for this question, I'm actually going to make this about Hebrew because I want to show you that Hebrew does work with Kahoot. If you don't have a Hebrew keyboard, not a problem. You can use a free online Hebrew keyboard. I'm going to add a tab here, and I'm going to open up Hebrew keyboard. Notice the link is gatetohome.com/Hebrew-keyboard. So I'm going to grab, here's a shoresh, here's a root that I already have written. Let's see, is there another one I want? Okay, we'll just take this. Mem lamed chaf. Now I'm going to put it in here. The shoresh, the root, mem lamed chaf, means ruler. And I actually have a good picture for that. I have my students draw pictures related to the content that we're learning. So here's a drawing that one of my students did for mem lamed chaf, ruler. And the answer is true. So I'm clicking the box here. And we'll give this 60 seconds as well. Now, if you had a pro account, you could give the students an extra challenge. Over here, this is called image reveal. And you can have the image reveal itself slowly over the course of the 60 seconds. And that way, you're rewarding students who remember what mem lamed chaf means without a clue. And if they don't remember, then they slowly see this clue and they're reminded of the meaning. This is actually pretty helpful in terms of assessment, because then if you look at the reports later, if you have a pro account and you could do this, then you also get pro account reports. And those reports could tell you how long it took the students to answer the question. So you know who are the ones answering quickly and correctly because they know the answer, and who are the ones that are taking longer because they need the clue. This isn't a very hard question because it's just true, false. But you can do harder ones with the quiz version. So let's do the quiz now. We could actually ask that same question. So if we didn't want to do true, false, we could ask the same question, more or less. What does the shoresh, root, mem lamed chaf mean? Okay, so I could bring in that picture. I can give my students some time to figure it out. And I could put the answers here. Now you can put the answers in different slots to make sure that's not always the first choice, that's the correct answer. But there's another place where you can choose to randomize the answers. Okay, so here I'm going to put that it means ruler. And I'm clicking the box here to show that that's the correct answer. But here I'm going to put something else. Judging from this picture, students might think it means to serve. Maybe they think Mem Lamed has to do with the person serving this person. Maybe it has to do with recline, because that person does look like they're reclining. And I'm going to add another question because I want to show you that these could also incorporate pictures as the answers, which is going to be really great for your pre-readers. So here is a question: which of these objects is only used on Hanukkah? Here I'm going to put the time. Instead of putting text here for the answer, I'm going to put a picture. Upload image. We'll do this one first. Now, if you have trouble uploading these images, might be because the images are too large. If it takes a really long time, then they might be very large. And then you'd want to consider making them smaller using a simple photo editing program. But hopefully they'll be just right. Okay, great. So here are the pictures. Here's the correct answer. If I wanted to, I could add a picture here as well, but I don't have to. So once you've completed your Kahoot, you can click preview to see what it'll be like. Whatever page you're on is the page that's going to open. So that's my last question. I'm going to click on the first question here, and I'm going to hit preview to start with this one. So you can see the timer's going. It started at 60. You can see people are answering. It's simulating that people are answering. Okay, so that's what it would look like. Here's the next slide. Now your screen will have to be showing so the students can see the question, but the students are going to use their own devices to submit their answers. Okay, so now I have a good idea of what all my questions look like, and they look just fine. So I'm going to click Exit Preview. So that's a basic introduction to Kahoot.